Emotions are complex and can be quite intriguing. Although psychologists have come up with plenty of theories to explain how they work, there's still so much that we don't know about our feelings. Here are 10 things we don't know about human emotions. 1. Why we feel emotions at all. Scientists believe that emotions evolved to help us make decisions quickly in different situations. They also help us process certain types of information quickly. For example, if you see a snake while hiking, your fight or flight response will kick in almost instantly. If you didn't have this emotional response, you might take too long to react and decide what to do, which could end up being very dangerous. But beyond simply reacting to our environment, scientists aren't exactly sure why we feel emotions. Some researchers even believe that emotions may not serve an adaptive function. Instead, emotions may just be a byproduct of how our brains process information. Number 2, how emotions are generated in the brain. It's well established that emotions are processed in the limbic system of the brain, which includes areas like the amygdala and hippocampus. But the exact neural mechanisms behind emotions are still being investigated. Researchers are using tools like functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI, to identify the specific brain regions involved in processing different emotions. They've found that different emotions activate different networks of brain regions. For example, one study found that the brain regions involved in processing negative emotions like fear and disgust were different from those involved in processing positive emotions like happiness and contentment. Number 3, how emotions are stored in the brain. It's not clear how exactly our brains store emotional memories, but it's believed that the amygdala plays a key role in this process. The amygdala is a small group of neurons located deep in the brain. It's responsible for processing and storing emotional memories, especially those related to fear and anxiety. When you experience an emotion, the amygdala activates and sends signals to other parts of the brain, including the hippocampus, which is responsible for forming new memories. The amygdala essentially tags memories with an emotional significance so that they can be retrieved more easily in the future. Number 4, why people with certain mental disorders lack emotions. People with certain mental disorders like depression and schizophrenia often display a lack of emotions or an inability to regulate their emotions. This is because these disorders affect the way the brain processes and regulates emotions. For example, depression has been linked to dysregulation of the neurotransmitter serotonin, which plays a key role in regulating mood. Similarly, schizophrenia is linked to abnormalities in the way the brain processes and responds to emotional stimuli. Number 5, why some people lack empathy. Most of us can understand how someone else is feeling just by looking at their facial expressions or body language. This ability is called empathy. But some people have difficulty understanding the emotions of others. This lack of empathy can make it difficult for them to form close relationships or work effectively in social settings. There are several theories about why some people lack empathy. One theory is that they have a reduced ability to process social cues. Another theory is that they have a reduced capacity for mentalizing, which is the ability to understand the mental states of others. Number 6, how trauma affects emotions. Experiencing a traumatic event can have a profound impact on a person's emotions. Many people who experience trauma develop post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, which is characterized by intense anxiety and avoidance of the traumatic stimulus. Trauma can also lead to emotional numbing, in which a person becomes detached and unresponsive to their emotions. Some people may even develop somatic symptom disorder, which is when a person experiences physical symptoms in response to emotional distress. Number 7, how emotions affect decision-making. For a long time, it was believed that emotions and rational thought are two separate processes that occur in different parts of the brain. However, more recent research suggests that emotions and rational thought are actually intertwined. In fact, emotions can have a significant impact on our decision-making abilities. For example, if you're feeling angry or stressed, you may make a decision that you later regret. This is because emotions can cause us to focus on certain aspects of a situation while ignoring others. They can also cause us to respond in an impulsive or irrational manner. Number 8. How to control our emotions. Although we often think of emotions as being outside of our control, we actually have a great deal of influence over how we feel. We can learn to control our emotions through a variety of techniques, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, mindfulness meditation, and acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. These therapies help us to become more aware of our emotions and the thoughts that cause them. With practice, we can learn to change our thoughts and behaviors, which in turn can change our emotions. Number 9. How to reduce emotional pain. Emotional pain can be just as intense as physical pain. And just like physical pain, it can cause us to suffer for long periods of time. But there are ways to reduce emotional pain, such as talking to a trusted friend or family member, journaling, or engaging in self-care activities like exercise or getting enough sleep. We can also seek professional help to learn more effective coping mechanisms. Number 10. How to increase happiness. Happiness is a complex emotion that's influenced by both our circumstances and our thoughts and behaviors. There are many things we can do to increase our own happiness, such as setting realistic goals, practicing gratitude, and being kind to others. We can also try to improve our mood by listening to music, spending time in nature, or engaging in activities that we enjoy. By taking steps to increase our happiness, we can improve our overall well-being and quality of life. Although we have come a long way in understanding emotions, there is still so much that we don't know about these fascinating phenomena. Hopefully, the studies mentioned in this video will shed some light on the mysteries of emotions and help us to better understand ourselves and the world around us. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with friends and family and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.